Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into a really fascinating reality, why your traditional, totally healthy-looking morning routine might actually be secretly aging your body. And more importantly, we'll look at exactly how to fix it without expensive supplements or extreme diets. If you've ever felt like your energy just isn't quite what it used to be, you are definitely in the right place. Okay, let's kick things off by picturing a classic, super comforting morning meal. You know the one. White rice, a nice light miso soup, maybe a tiny piece of grilled fish. For decades, this has been the absolute gold standard for a gentle, comforting start to the day. It fills you up and feels perfectly balanced, right? Well, actually, that's exactly where the illusion begins. And this brings us to our first major myth. While we perceive this kind of breakfast as incredibly healthy and gentle on the stomach, the metabolic reality is quite different. It's critically low in the absolute most essential building block your aging body craves, which is protein. You see, as we get older, we naturally eat less, and we tend to favor carbs over proteins. That means we're essentially starving our muscles right from the moment we wake up. So check this out. The source material points out something absolutely fascinating. These aren't just, inevitable signs of getting older. Are your grocery bags feeling heavier? Are you suddenly reaching for handrails on the stairs? Maybe you have to push on your knees just to stand up, or those plastic bottle caps are suddenly impossible to twist off. These are actually specific screaming warning signs from your body that you have a hidden protein gap. The crucial point is hiding right here in the data. Research shows that the average senior is only taking in about 40 grams of protein a day. But to actually maintain your muscles and your independence, your body requires anywhere between 70 and 90 grams, depending on your weight. To put that in perspective, that means most people are only getting about half of what they desperately need. And wow, the consequences of this gap are staggering. If we ignore this, our bodies literally start breaking down their own muscle. After age 60, we lose about 8% of our muscle mass every single year if we aren't careful. And it's not just about looking thinner or feeling weaker. This triggers a dangerous cascade. Your metabolism drops, blood sugar spikes, immunity plummets, and your risk of falling and breaking a bone skyrockets. But hey, here is the incredible news. You can absolutely reverse this. The source material highlights a 73-year-old woman named Tanaka-san. Her legs were trembling just walking up gentle slopes, and she was terrified of becoming a burden to her family. But by making tiny, simple changes using everyday supermarket foods, no crazy workouts, no expensive pills, she completely rebuilt her strength. Within 3 months, she was literally back at the park playing with her grandchildren. To really understand why this happens, the source uses this brilliant metaphor. Think of your body as a wooden house. When you're young, you have a top-tier team of master carpenters. Whenever cells break down, the carpenters instantly rebuild them. Creation perfectly matches destruction. But as we age, those master carpenters, well, they retire. Your digestion changes, growth hormones drop, and the muscle-building switch becomes way harder to flip. Destruction drastically outpaces creation unless we deliberately provide them with premium, easy-to-use building materials. So let's look at the top 5 strongest, most accessible superfoods to give our retired carpenters the premium materials they actually need. Coming in at number 5, we have something you probably already have sitting right in your pantry, just waiting to be used. It's canned mackerel, but specifically, we're talking about the water-boiled kind. It packs a massive 20 grams of protein per 100 grams, and it's loaded with EPA and DHA. Those are essential oils that make your blood flow smoothly and protect your brain. A huge tip from our source, though, definitely avoid the miso or soy sauce versions to keep that salt intake down. And whatever you do, never ever throw away the juice in the can. That water is packed with dissolved nutrients, so just pour it right into your soup. All right, let's move right along to number 4, which is a fantastic and incredibly easy upgrade to your morning routine. Greek yogurt. Because of how it's strained, Greek yogurt gives you nearly double the protein of regular yogurt. We're talking about 10 grams per serving. But here is its secret weapon. The lactic acid bacteria actually improves your gut environment. Remember those retired carpenters? Well, a healthy gut makes it drastically easier for them to absorb the protein you're eating. Just make sure you grab the unsweetened kind to protect your blood sugar. You can always toss in a little honey or crushed almonds yourself. At number 3, we have a true muscle-building powerhouse. But a quick heads up, it does require a special little cooking trick to get it just right. It's chicken breast. It is incredibly rich in lean protein and contains a very special amino acid called leucine. Leucine is literally the chemical switch that tells your body, hey, start building muscle now. Now, it can be a bit dry and hard to chew for older adults, but the hack? Soak it in salt water and cook it gently at exactly 70 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Trust me, it comes out incredibly tender, moist, and wonderfully easy to swallow. Moving to number 2. This is a beloved Japanese staple, and it actually holds a massive, life-saving secret that we're going to reveal at the very end of this explainer. Natto, this fermented soybean dish, is pretty much a perfectly balanced plant protein. It's totally loaded with vitamin K, fiber, and an incredible enzyme called nattokinase, which actively prevents dangerous blood clots. It literally cleans your blood while feeding your muscles. Plus, it's so cheap that making it a daily habit is practically effortless. And finally, the undisputed #1 everyday superfood. It's something you likely eat already, but maybe you just aren't eating quite enough of it. The humble egg, it boasts what scientists literally call the perfect protein profile. It has a near 100% absorption rate in the human body, making it just about the most cost-effective protein on Earth. Just 2 eggs in the morning give you a phenomenal foundation for the day. But here is a really critical rule from our source. If you're over 60, please make sure your eggs are fully cooked. Raw or soft-boiled eggs actually contain enzymes that block protein absorption, and they carry a higher risk of food poisoning. So keep them fully cooked to maximize your health. Now, before we get to that massive plot twist I promised, we absolutely have to bust a huge dietary myth. The single biggest mistake people make is trying to eat all their protein at dinner. You literally cannot save up your protein for a giant evening steak. Your aging body can only process about 30 grams of protein per meal. Anything over that, it just gets flushed right out of your system, doing absolutely nothing for your muscles. So, to properly rebuild that wooden house, you have to spread your materials out across breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And to maximize absorption, you really just need to follow 3 simple rules. First, add a squeeze of lemon or some broccoli, because vitamin C acts as a catalyst for protein digestion. Second, try to eat within 30 minutes of a light walk when your muscles are practically begging for nutrients. And third, this is a big one, chew at least 10 times per bite. Digestion actually starts in the mouth, and doing this takes a massive burden off your stomach. Okay, are you ready for the ultimate plot twist regarding that natto we talked about earlier? Most people in Japan eat natto for breakfast, right? It's totally tradition. But science tells us we actually need to stop eating it in the morning. The reasoning behind this is just fascinating. That incredible clot-busting enzyme, nattokinase, stays active in your bloodstream for about 8 hours after you eat it. Now, medically speaking, the absolute most dangerous time for heart attacks and strokes is the early morning, between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. If you eat natto for breakfast, the enzyme is completely gone by bedtime. But by simply shifting your natto from breakfast to dinner around 7 p.m., that life-saving nattokinase peaks perfectly while you sleep, protecting your heart exactly when it is most vulnerable. And to get the absolute most out of this new evening routine, research shows you can't just lightly mix it. You must stir your natto at least 50 times before eating. Yeah, 50. This rigorous stirring is what fully activates those amazing enzymes, pulling all of that health potential right to the surface before you even take your first bite. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to realize something incredibly empowering. You don't need huge dietary overhauls, expensive supplements, or grueling workouts to reclaim your strength and independence. It's all about small, smart choices. So, I leave you with this question. What is the one small step you're going to take tomorrow? Will you add just one fully cooked egg to your morning routine to start rebuilding your incredible house? Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and here's to a stronger, healthier you.